Hey, you guys, welcome to Story Teaser, whatever number it is. You know, I always lose track. We've got a special recording here today. So do we look alike?
Maybe.
All right, you guys, what is this? What are we getting together for? So story teasers are a reading about 200 to 300 words from the authors that are part of the Win the Wellness W.A.R, which is a compilation book of almost 40 authors this time. And it is the second book of the All Things Wellness book series. So what do I do with these guys? I have them read their stories. They are true and authentic stories, about 2,000 words. And I'm going to try to keep it professional with my youngest son on here, who is going to be bringing my daughter-in-law is about ready to have her baby. So hopefully we can finish this before that happens. Tanner, so you've written in a book in the last few months, and then this one was the first big story, but you have been a writer like your whole life. You've written poetry with me when you were really young, and you have written songs, rap songs and stuff. So would you consider yourself a writer, or what are your thoughts on this process you just went through?
Yeah, I feel like I go through phases though.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Have you always written for yourself? Have you always written for yourself, or without the intent of someone hearing or seeing it? Like, what's that process?
Yeah, I guess I've kept a journal, but I mean, I guess what I meant is like I've always been able to write. It doesn't mean I necessarily always have, but I've always been able to.
Yeah, yeah. You're really eloquent with your words. Yours is one of the stories that when you and I were talking about being in this book, I mean, I told my publisher we talked about it, and in less than 2 hours it was in. You had it beautifully done and hardly edited at all. And I mean, I was just so proud of you for doing that. But it is a different thing when you know you're writing for yourself to cathartically get it out, versus like this thing's going to be out in the world. Did that feel weird when you thought about that at all?
Kind of. I just felt I just wrote it how I would, like, if someone asked me.
Yeah.
I just wrote it how I would explain it.
That's the best. I always say to kind of write like nobody's going to read it,
Yeah.
because then you're more open and honest. So I just want to say a little bit on, and then I'm going to let you read your story. So we're talking about everybody has a lot to share for stories. And I had a gal that was going to be on here today, but she had something come up. But this was Anita, and she had said that I'm too vanilla, Peggy. I don't have anything to write about. I don't have any major events. I don't have any major diseases or illnesses. And I always tell everybody that even that in and of itself, like how they've managed their life, is inspirational. Mm-hmm. You, contrary on the other side, at your age of 29, have lived, we've joked, about 5 lifetimes. Mm-hmm. Right? So you and I are getting ready to start publishing our children's books together too. So I just want to tell everybody what that's about quickly. It's about tales. So trust and accountability and loyalty and emotion and, safety, that acronym. And it's going to be called Tanner's Tales. And we're taking a mother and a son's view on a lot of your upbringing and things that you've actually done. And I'm excited to get the first one out this summer.
Yeah.
And for your kid and my grandson to read it. All right, let's take a listen to your story. So if you would read the title and then what you've chosen as the teaser.
Okay. So the title is Learning to Walk Again at Age 21. And so I know how critical it is when you are on an unfamiliar track to acclimate and to the design and ensure your motorcycle is correctly dialed in for the terrain. Tire pressure, suspension, wheels, spokes, and more. That day, I made the biggest mistake of my career. I didn't double check the pressure in my forks, and I was about to pay for it in a major way. On lap 3, I approached a split lane rhythm section. He had 2 choices to ultimately reach a huge 120-foot jump. The right side had a double section before the huge jump. The left side was more complex and faster with a triple jump. Guess what route I chose? I sat down to preload my suspension to help clear a triple jump. I thought I was in second gear, but I had shifted incorrectly. I was still in third. I sat down on my seat to preload for the large triple jump, but because I didn't shift down, I was moving too fast. I approached the lip of the jump at about 20 miles an hour. About 30 feet into the air, I realized what was about to happen, but it was already too late to brake. I was along for the ride. When I left the lip of the jump, I knew I would overshoot the landing. Unfortunately, my front and rear suspension hit the ground simultaneously and both completely bottomed out, digging both foot pegs deep into the dirt and breaking the soles of my brand new boots in half. Both my ankles exploded.
Oh, you guys, look at me holding it together, emotionally resilient. That reminds me it takes me back to just yesterday. And like you said, the story title, you were 21, and we'll leave the secrets for the readers to catch up with, to read the whole story. But how was it putting that stuff down on paper? Was it emotional, or you were just matter of fact when you wrote?
I think I've already dealt with all the emotions now that it's been, 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's almost like just like reminiscing at this point.
Yeah. So we won't share too many details, but I'll ask you one question. Will you, knowing what you learned with motocross and the discipline and the dedication and loyalty, because we really took it to another level as a family and your skill level, will you let your sons ride motorcycles?
They want to.
Really? So it's up to them. Yeah.
Yeah. I was never pushed to do anything. And I think that's why when I found what I would like to do, I did it because I wanted to. I was never pushed or told that I had to. I mean, there were times where, I was told to focus and stuff, but there was never times where I was told I had to do something.
I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions of extreme sports when the kids are young. There are a lot of people who don't understand that adrenaline rush, or when the skill catches up, it's out having fun in the desert until the skill is there. And it's like, whoa, he's good at this. So what does that kind of mean? And then honestly, as parents, you just start to realize your children have that ability, and then it's their dream. And that's what we really tried to make sure happened with you boys, is that, but it's hard for other parents who don't have extremists to go, what are you doing? They've had 25 fractures. What the hell's wrong with you? So, well, I really appreciate you sharing this, and hopefully, you're going to reach a lot of lives. You're the second youngest author in this book, and we have all sorts of countries and states and diversity and cultures. And so I'm obviously really proud holding two hats for you. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. We will talk to you soon, everybody. See you next time on the next story teaser. Take care. And I'll be FaceTiming you soon, Tanner. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.